Good afternoon, Church. I stand before you to bring in my personal condolences to the family of my friend and the party patron of the Democratic Party, Honorable Joseph Consolo Munyao. I did not know Munyao for many years, for indeed I just met him the other day in 1990 when I was posted to work in Machakos. And because of who he has been described to be, which I want to confirm, we instantly became initially acquaintances and progressively became good friends. He would always, on occasion, remind many people of some of those occasions that we met in some of those difficult moments when he was out of parliament and when he was in parliament. I may not wish to recite some of those moments in the interest of time, but allow me to read the eulogy from the party, which he gracefully handed over to me, the leadership, in 2021 and early 2022. And he, on his own volition, agreed to continue serving the party in the capacity of the patron. It is with profound sorrow that I, together with the entire Democratic Party of Kenya fraternity, mourn the passing of Honorable Joseph Consolo Munyao, HGH. His departure marks the loss of a towering statesman, a visionary leader, and one of the distinguished co-founders of our party, alongside the late President Mwai Kibaki. Honorable Munyao devoted his life to the service of our nation. His political journey, beginning with his long and impactful service as Member of Parliament for Mboni constituency, for the periods that have been described in the eulogies read previously. And that reflected an unwavering dedication to the welfare and dignity of the Kenyan people. His humility, discipline, and steadfast commitment to public service earned him admiration across generations. As Minister for Livestock and Fisheries Development between the years 2003 and 2007, the Honorable Munyao provided strategic and visionary leadership that played a pivotal role in modernizing and strengthening Kenya's livestock sector. One of his most celebrated achievements was the revival and the reopening of the Kenya Meat Commission in June 2006, ending a 15-year closure. This transformative milestone revitalized the meat processing industry, expanded economic opportunities for pastoral communities, and restored Kenya's capacity to compete in regional and international livestock markets. It remains one of the defining achievements in our country's agricultural development history. Within the Democratic Party of Kenya, the Honorable Munyao's contributions were immeasurable. At one point, as Secretary General, he strengthened our party's structures and deepened its ideological foundations, always reaching out to other like-minded political parties, not just in the country, but across the continent and internationally. As party leader, between the years 2015 and 2022, he provided stable, unifying leadership during a period of significant political transition. As a party patron, a position he assumed with characteristic humility after voluntarily handing over the leadership to me, he continued to offer invaluable wisdom, clarity, and fatherly counsel until his passing on. The Honorable Munyao believed deeply in generational renewal, institutional stability, and principled politics. His leadership was marked by integrity, foresight, and unshakable belief in Kenya's democratic future. His legacy of public service, nation building, and exemplary humility will forever remain etched in our hearts and in the history of our party and country. On behalf of the Democratic Party of Kenya, on my behalf and that of my family, I extend heartfelt condolences to the family, friends, and people of Mbooni, and all who had the privilege of working with him. We stand with you in this moment of grief and honor his extraordinary life with gratitude and reverence. May his soul rest in eternal peace. When I learned of the passing on of the Honorable Joseph Munyao, I immediately reached out to Alex, because as many of you would recall, it was just the other week when we were very busy down in the villages, traversing the valleys and hills in Mbeere North, doing what the late Munyao loved to do. But prior to that, on the 7th of November, at the launch of my book, the Honorable Munyao had indicated to me earlier when I contacted him that he would wish to be present at that launch, which was presided over by His Excellency Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. But unfortunately, on that evening, he was not able because he was feeling unwell. But he gave his phone to one of his daughters. I'm now going to discover who it was today, and indicated that I must autograph a copy of that book on that date and deliver it to him. Unfortunately, soon thereafter, I hit the road running in Mbeere North, and as fate would have it, my good friend, our patron, went to be with his maker when I was down in the villages, and before I could hand over the autographed copy of my book titled The Fight for Honor. I now, with humility, wish to hand over the copy of the book to both Alex and the sister, who I don't know, because in honor and memory of my friend and our party patron, the Honorable Joseph Gonzalo Munyao. I had been given indication that two of my colleagues desire to go to some other engagements, and therefore allow me to invite them to come and give their personal messages of solidarity and condolences. I could begin the nearest, the Honorable His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua.
Thank you very much, the clergy, the family of the late Honorable Joseph Gonzalo Munyao, distinguished leaders and those present. God is good, and all the time. Hi, cousins. Hi, cousins. Let me take this opportunity to bring the condolences of my family to the family of the late Joseph Munyao, a distinguished public servant who has served this country with dedication. We have keenly followed his eulogy, and we have nothing but admiration for a man who gave his all to serve his country, and also a man who brought up his family well. And that is what we desire in this country. I had the privilege of meeting the late Joseph Munyao. He was a great friend of my late brother, the first governor of Nyeri, Gachagua. They were together in the Democratic Party. He was jocular, a very entertaining, good old man. And I listened to him, and I followed a few lessons from him. I must say that we from Nyeri remain indebted to the late Joseph Munyao for the way he stood with our third president, Mwai Kibaki, from the formation of DP 1991. And he stuck with him when he lost the elections in 1992. He stuck with him. When he lost in 1997, he stuck with him. And when he won in 2002, they won together. I really admire consistency and true friendship, because Joseph Munyao was a true friend of Mzee Mwai Kibaki, the greatest president Kenya has ever had. So as we honor him, as we bury him, let's be true people to friendship. Let's be consistent. If you choose a path, stick to it from the beginning to the end, because that dignifies you as a person, as a leader. Finally, his contribution to the growth of the Democratic Party as a strong political party reminds all of us the need to develop strong political parties for the growth of our democracy in this country. And as we bury him, we'll emulate him, and in the parties that we belong, we'll make sure that we develop them into strong political parties for the growth of our democracy. So familia poleni, tunatakia nyinyi mema. We will pray for you. We wish God's guidance at this very difficult time of losing the family head. And we believe God will wipe your tears and will see you through in the years to come. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much.
Allow me to invite His Excellency Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to come and make his remarks and give his condolences.
The family of our late brother Alex and you guys, Pastor Pinto and of our elder brother Mutava there, and the community of Nairobi Baptist Church, my friends, party leaders, and fellow mourners. Well, I am here to announce a draw. The argument as to who corrupted the name Kalonzo and Konzolo is now settled. It's a draw. And but I've realized, Alex, you even made it worse in the program. I used always to believe Konzolo was K-O-N-Z-L-O, but you put another L. Now you have reopened the discussion. Be that as it may, we are here to honor a very distinguished, honorable Kenyan leader who has played his role on the national stage with such distinction. I must tell you the reason we picked up that argument between names was simply to manage stress. We were managing stress. And so we would just, how do we begin this conversation? Mp Munyao was one of our finest, even as a community of Makueni and Ukambani. And now, as we lay him to rest, the party that he so proudly led and was part of has just gone through a by-election. I want to, in my own view, say DP did not lose in Bere North, so that Consolo will rest in peace. It was something else. But that is because I take seriously the counsel by our pastors that we will try and remain apolitical, as is our tradition in this congregation. But I want to say, as we obviously escort Consolo, a year ago we were there, and those things I'll say in Kalawa, I can't say here. Because when we said Kwaheri to his laugh bad, they really were so close. And it is apparent to me that some of these relationships are so close that when one partner rests, then it becomes difficult. I can say I saw this with the case of our late friend John Lusa when he lost his wife Irene. And I suppose we have now to develop shock absorbers so that we, as Pastor Pinto has advised you, Alex, you have to wear your own shoes. Don't jump into Mzee's shoes, maybe very big. But as family friends, we are there to stand with you every step of the way, the best way we can, and so that we give Mp Munyao the kind of send-off that we can. But of course, it's safe in the hands of God. I have written a statement on behalf of Wiper Patriotic Front. The reason, by the way, we used to manage this stress because Joseph was DP Damu. And then those days, even when we are now trying to organize multi-party democracy, he was so committed to Mzee Kibaki. And him and Kibaki and in Ukambane Kiale Mwendwa, those were the maestros, those were Kibaki's strong men. And I was there, I can see Ndwiga nodding. And that commitment, it was very difficult for me to be in the opposite side. So we would just meet and make those jokes and get along. Later on, of course, I saw Consolo's commitment to family and community. I know my sister Mother Kasanga will probably be here. I don't know whether she is. So when Senator Sylvia tells me she isn't, and of course I'm sure she will see her at home, the commitment, Consolo and the late Justice Kasanga Molo, that I don't know, is because what is your Kamba clan, Aombe? Yeah, Tui. I don't know whether there's a branch of Waombe, which Katuku, I think Katuku, Mheshimiwa Katuku, whether you are Mwombe, who believe there are more than the Kambas everywhere. So I saw that, living family values, community values. So here, honestly, we will miss Mzee Consolo. And as we have said, children, you're all grown-ups. I saw the little ones, the granddaughters, mourning more than the children. You know, the grandchildren normally would jump on the graves, the grave of their grandfathers and grandmothers. But here, it's a man who held so closely to those family values that even the grandchildren find it difficult to let go. May his soul rest in everlasting peace. Amen.
At their own request, allow me also to invite the Honorable Martha Karua, who is the leader of the People's Liberation Party, to come and make a statement and a message of condolence. I've been told that the Honorable John Mutua Katuko belongs to the Atangwa clan. I'm not sure.
God is good, and all the time. The family of our late brother, Joseph Consolo Munyao, the clergy and all those who have come. Like all of you, we are here to stand with the family and to honor the memory of our dear colleague. I worked with the late Munyao for the longest in DP, having joined DP in 1991 and staying steadfast in DP until it delivered us to government through the National Rainbow Coalition. Thereafter, we worked in government together. An amiable, happy man, always radiating warmth, and somebody who was able to work with everyone. We worked through tough times, through good times, and one thing was constant. He was always there with a smile and his usual warmth. I don't want to repeat the things that have been said about him, but I will repeat, he was a man of integrity. He loved Kenya. He was a patriot, and he gave his all when he was appointed minister. And I dare say that first cabinet of Kibaki, a majority truly worked for the nation, and hence the way the reforms unfolded. Nobody can reform alone. You utilize the, shall I say, woman power. Men should feel included, because forever we say manpower until women are included. So one utilizes the woman power available. In other words, the human resources available to them. He was a good family man, always talking about his family and very close to them. He was a great example to emulate in leadership and in family life. I know it's difficult to part with your dad, but may his very rich legacy be a source of comfort and pride for the family. We will all miss him, but we will remember his good deeds. And because I heard the clergy a little worried about politicians, when a politician dies, do allow us to bury him with a little bit of politics, because that's what he practiced. So long as it is good politics, do allow us. When it's an army man, you will find them firing shots to remind what the profession was. When it is a clergy, they come with all their habits. Allow us to pour a little bit of politics during the burial of a politician. And I'll say this, our country is at crossroads, and it is up to us, all of us, the clergy and lay people, politicians, everybody included, to weigh where we may have gone wrong and where we need to correct. The truth shall always be the truth. However much we cover lies or falsehoods, they will never graduate to become the truth. We need to change the way we do things. And yes, Bere and Malava and all this by-elections, something was terribly wrong. But as citizens, we must ask ourselves, even though we are oppressed, are the gifts worth it? Because they confuse and give room for meddling. We are coming to a general election in about 1.5 years. If we do not retrace our steps, we stand to lose our nation. So let us work hard, think hard, and be patriots, the way the late Joseph Kalonzo Munyao was. May he rest in peace.
Allow me to invite the Honorable Eugene Wamalwa, the leader of the Democratic Action Party, to come and make his remarks.
Thank you very much. The Munyao family and fellow mourners, please allow me to bring my deepest condolences to the family and to, on behalf of the Democratic Action Party, to also bring our condolences to the family and to the Democratic Party, a party that Mzee really, really loved. And we say pole to a statesman, not a politician. He was truly a statesman, a leader of integrity, a leader of great vision. And today, as we mourn him, we want to say, if there's something we can borrow from Mzee, there's one word that runs through all the stories we've heard about him and all the tributes paid today. And that word is integrity, integrity, integrity. If we could just borrow that from Mzee and inject that into our national discourse and our leadership, this country would truly change. Those who are talking about Kenya becoming a Singapore, it will take integrity in our leadership. It will take the kind of leadership that we've seen in Mzee to change this country. I knew Mzee when he worked very closely with my late brother, Michael Omalwa. The two are very close to Mzee Kibaki. And even after my brother died, after Mzee Kibaki died, the friendship went on through the years. In the recent past, I interacted with him last year when we came home, when Mama Agnes Munyao died. We came with His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka. We came home to say pole. Mzee was strong, but you could see he was devastated, losing the love of his life. And to the family, we say pole. After losing Mama just last year, losing Mzee today, it is truly devastating. And may the good Lord give you the grace to bear your loss. As we go forward, we do recall that what Mzee stood for with Kibaki, the fight for multi-party democracy, when DP played a front role to bring multi-party democracy in this country, he has taught us that we can remain and have fidelity in multi-party democracy, fidelity to our parties. And this is what we must fight for, to defend our multi-party democracy at the hour of great peril. His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka has said here that Mzee would have died with a victory in Bere, where his party, the Democratic Party, did very well. We believe the DP won the Bere seat, but they were denied victory. We also do believe, just like in Western Kenya, the Democratic Action Party, a sister party of DP, also won the Malava seat, but we were equally denied victory. And I'm here with Seth Panyako, our candidate, a victim of great violence and intimidation. But in due course, they shall be tested in court. And we do believe that the truth will come out and the truth shall set us free. Asanteni sana, na Mungu awabariki.
Thank you very much. Before I hand over the mic to Dolo, may I recognize the members of the Democratic Party, the leadership who may be present. If they are around. Yes, please. I think those of us who are here, please, they have requested that we take a photograph here. And of course, I want to recognize the fact that Alex himself is a member of the Democratic Party. He was indeed our candidate for the Mboni parliamentary seats. Oh yes, I can see. Oh, a long time. Kujeni hapa tunataka tu chini. Salama salama.